digital transformation and leadership. I'm particularly drawn to the sub-theme of this conference, institutional capacity for risk, resilience, and recovery. This is very apt at this time in our history. And I'll go back to where the president started from on May 29th, when he took over as the leader, as the president of this country. The country was almost bankrupt, but today it's a different story. We've had cumulative GDP growth of well over 3.2%. The last quarter, we witnessed a 4.24% GDP growth. Our budget, loan servicing to GDP ratio is falling from about 90% to less than 50% today. And I think you picking this sub-theme, strengthening institutional capacity for risk, resilience, and recovery, cannot be overemphasized at this time in the history of our country. This is what it's helped propel our economy to where it is today. I thank the Institute of Chartered Institute of Directors for being there, And please, we need you to continue to unleash the human capital, the mental capacity, the resource that you have to continue to support our government. Leadership, succession, integrity systems, and institutional resilience are now priorities in our education sector management, ensuring that reforms outlive personalities and endow two generations. Let me again commend the Chartered Institute of Directors for providing cross-sectional bridge where directors, regulators, and policymakers can engage meaningfully. Earlier on today, you had the presence of the Honorable Minister for Budget and Planning come and meet with you. This is the kind of synergy we need. And I'm happy that Chartered Institute of Directors, you're living to your objectives of supporting any government in this country, and more importantly, supporting our government, cross-breeding ideas on how we can continue to move our country forward. The Federal Ministry of Education is committed to collaborating with the private sectors. More importantly, institutes like yours in areas of helping us to continue to reform our curriculum, where it perfectly aligns with learning and evolving industry needs. Leadership and governance training for administrators, school boards, and also in our tertiary institutions. Today, I don't mind laundering our own dirty linens in the public. Our tertiary institutions and universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education need more system strengthening so that move them to 21st century ways to manage tertiary institutions. And I want to lean on this institute and challenge you that we'll be ready to meet with you for you to come with ideas on how we can strengthen the management of our tertiary institutions. I don't think we have the capacity, not the academic capacity. The academic capacity is there, but the administrative capacity. Just last week, I had to convene meetings of all the heads of our tertiary institutions, vice chancellors, rectors, and polytechnics. Between the year 1999 and 2024, we had over 675 billion naira in unused funds. Funds that have been allocated to them to improve infrastructures, to improve instructional material, instructional capacity, to build our laboratories. Those funds were just laying fallow, and nobody cared. They didn't even know that that existed. That showed me a significant systemic failure in the way the administrations of those institutions are being managed. If we had effective administration that focused on evidence-based policies, intervention, and outcomes, those would have been flagged out 8 years before. It won't take me as the Minister of Education to flag that out almost 15 years after. And we keep complaining we don't have resources. But when you have almost ₦1 trillion just sitting scattered in university accounts, not being used for anything, those funds were not invested to generate significant cumulative return. They're just sitting in TSA accounts, and nobody cared. Now, the structure of our tertiary institutions are that the leadership at the level of vice chancellor, rectors, and provosts, they come from academia. But then, for them to function effectively, they need administrators, effective, efficient administrators. And that's what an institute like yours, Chartered Institute of Directors, should help us to see how we can begin to build renewed capacities in our tertiary institutions. This is the challenge that I'm giving you. We need those help. And whatever way you come up on how we can do that, I can assure you that I'll do everything humanly possible to ensure that we implement those reforms or interventions that you think will help us move forward. My fellow Nigerians, we must continue to blur the boundaries between classrooms and boardrooms, because the prosperity of Nigeria depends both on working together. In line with the renewed hope agenda, we're determined to make education inclusive and equitable, ensuring that no child, youth, or region is left behind. We're expanding access to quality education, integrating digital literacy across learning ecosystems, and supporting capacity building for education managers. Inclusivity is not charity. It is smart economics. This is because when every Nigerian is educated, skilled, and empowered, our enterprises and our nation become stronger. Let me seize this moment to call on our directors, business leaders, and policymakers here to partner with us in developing future-ready leaders for Nigeria. I implore you to support corporate governance ethics, mentor the next generations, help build bridge between knowledge and enterprise, between knowledge and policy, between knowledge and productivity, between knowledge and leadership, between knowledge and legacy. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm confident that the deliberations of this 2025 Annual Directors Conference will yield actionable insights that will strengthen leadership, governance, and institutional performances across Nigeria. The Federal Ministry of Education stands ready to support the outcome of this conference through policy collaborations and implementation partnership. Now, I came as an invitee, but I'm going to go back to my ask. I've told you where personally, as the Chief Education Officer for the country, where my needs are. So I really need you. This is just not me coming to the podium. When my dear brother Otubashi asked me to come, and I said, oh, and he kept begging me to come. In my mind, I said, so I was just enjoying the plea. I said, in my mind, I will come here. I need more from the Chartered Institute of Directors than you wanting me to come here, because I've seen this systemic gap in our education system, and I'm charging you, imploring you, challenging you to help us come up with pathway how we can strengthen our tertiary institutions to better operate, better deliver to our citizens. I wish you all a very fruitful conference that will lead to better outcomes for all Nigeria. And I want to appreciate and thank you again for inviting me to come. It's a huge honor to be among eminent policymakers, directors, administrators, regulators like you. Thank you. God bless the Chartered Institute of Directors. God bless Nigeria. Thank you.